So I'm here with Marty Sugarman, who's a surfer and a journalist who's spent a lot of time in Pakistan and India. And I'm here to ask him about what's going on there with these recent terrorist attacks and bombings. Marty, what's your relationship with those governments of Pakistan and India?
Well, Pakistan, India, I'm persona non grata. Pakistan, I have friendly relationship with. The problem that's occurring in Kashmir is decades old, centuries old. Kashmir is located in the Karakoram mountain range, a remote territory northeast of India. It's a disputed territory between Pakistan and India. Now, what happened recently was apparently there was a terrorist attack on the Indian Army convoy. 400 soldiers were killed. It's an election year in India, so the Prime Minister has to make, propaganda. Otherwise, he'll be thrown out of office. So they blame Pakistan and Pakistan's ISI, which is Inter-Service Intelligence Agency, of sponsoring this attack. But it hasn't been proven that they were behind it. Anyway, currently, as you know, or maybe don't know, both sides have atomic weapons. They've been at war with one another 3 times. At the time of the partition, which was in 1947, a year later, in 1948, over the line of control, which is the disputed boundary between India and Pakistan. Every so often the situation flares up, and I'm sure this will be resolved peacefully without an atomic nuclear exchange. Now they captured apparently one Indian pilot, and they're returning him to India. Neither country wants a war, and thank God the United States and China and Russia and England are trying to tamper down the situation before it escalates.
Now, is America involved in these sort of détente things right now?
No. The United States is not involved.
I heard China China and Russia were kind of really heavily involved with trying to make it.
Well, China is a close ally of Pakistan. It's its major trading partner and ally. And Russia is a major alliance with India. So you have kind of a proxy war going on. This goes back to the Taliban.
Is the Taliban involved? I heard there's a Pakistani Taliban.
And there's an Afghanistan Taliban. And there's a Malibu Taliban. They're the worst.
They're the worst. Cut you off every time.
Yeah, they take over the waves, territory.
Valley. The Valley Taliban. Well, how's this thing going to work out, do you think? They're just going to keep
They'll keep on provoking one another until they get tired and go back and drink their chai.
Well, now what's the ISI's relationship in this whole thing? Are they encouraging these terrorist attacks? Apparently, there's some sort of Pakistani kind of a terrorist organization.
Yes.
It's not really the ISA, but they're kind of supported by the ISA, I heard.
ISI.
ISI, yeah.
Well, look at it this way. For centuries, Kashmir has been occupied by various empires. It goes back to the Mughals in the 19th century, back to the other groups, even Greece, Alexander the Great.
Oh, yeah.
Tried to conquer and occupy Kashmir. So it's been over, and then the last empire was the British Empire. But after World War II, they didn't have the money to maintain the British Raj. So in 47, they had the partition. Partition was based on three principles. One, territorial integrity, contiguity, population, Muslim or Hindu, and the wishes of the prince or the Maharaja or the Raja or Pandit, the ruler of the land. The last, it was Hari Singh, who was the Maharaja of Kashmir. And he decided in the beginning not to go with either India or Pakistan. That was the principles of partition. Finally, he was more or less forced to sign up with India. Pakistan, it should have gone to Pakistan. In fact, the 49 war was resolved by the United Nations, came in and brokered a peace between India and Pakistan. But what happened was Nehru, the Prime Minister of India, promised the people of Kashmir a plebiscite. Let them decide. Let the people decide if they want to stay with India or go with Pakistan. Now, let me say one thing. Kashmiri people are not Indians. They don't come from the same race. It's a different racial ethnic group. It's more Persian. That's why if you go there to Srinagar, the capital, summer capital of Kashmir, you see they have blonde hair, blue eyes. Plus, they don't subscribe to a radical form of Islam, jihad. In other words, they don't believe that the Quran is a box or toolkit for conducting jihad.
How interesting. Yeah, that's important.
Very important. In all the newspaper articles, I have not read one iota about the promised plebiscite. They keep on postponing it. They don't want to have it because they know the majority of people living in Kashmir is Muslim. And Pakistan is the first republic, Islamic republic, foreign. So, of course, they would want to go with Pakistan. They've had plenty of experiences with living under Hindu rule. It's discriminatory. It's like the whites and the blacks in the South. Why would you want to, if you were black, why would you want to live
be a
with
Confederate?
white people?
Why would you want to be a
We had a civil war because of that. Well, essentially, it's the same thing. They have a civil war going on in Kashmir, and there's been a lot of human rights abuses on the part of the Indian soldiers, and so it stands to reason when you see you're forced to watch your kids and wife get raped, etc., that you pick up the gun and defend yourself. The only thing they want is basic human rights, the right of self-determination, the right to live in freedom and to choose their own lifestyle.
Well, Marty, that really kind of gives us a very good picture of the foundation of all these issues that are swarming around now, and it could it could lead the world into a devastating direction if it's not handled with
Kids' gloves.
Well, kids' gloves, but by people that really understand, rather than just America trying to push its weight, or some country trying to manipulate the situation for their own personal gains.
Yeah, the issue is you know, it's in such a remote area that the people don't know where it is. They don't know the details. Look, you know, our country is maybe slightly above morons.
Not very much higher. Not that much higher. Okay.
And listen to this.
I know. This is America. This is
Yeah.
moaning and groaning.
He's getting tortured. Being tortured.
Well, Marty, I'm out of film right now, out of time on this recording. But thank you very much for this interview, and I want to continue. All right. So
Yeah.
So let's do a part 2 soon. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, Norton.
Okay.